All right, yeah, so Coach let me know yesterday that going to make a change at quarterback. It's pro football, and there's a standard that I have for myself, that the team has for me. That unfortunately, I wasn't playing up to that standard consistently enough, and so it is what it is, and you roll with it, and now you still get ready, one play away kind of a thing, and support Mike, and just try to help our team, be able to find a way to win these last three to get in the playoffs, and that's what it's all about. So that's my focus, and take any questions you have.
Kurt, Coach said that the turnovers were an issue at the end of the day. He said you can't have those in the NFL. Can you look back and see at that, and how did you digest that part of it, and how can you try to fix that if you do get another opportunity as a number two?
Yeah, no, I would agree with him. It probably ultimately was the turnovers, and that's such a key thing in winning and losing in the NFL.
And then so long time we see a lot of football, but stuff looks different. We start asking, well, hey, maybe something's not right health wise. How was your health? Was that a factor? It looked like the zip might have not been on the balls lately.
No, I think going back to the turnovers, I think that's more probably decision making than anything, and that wouldn't have anything to do with any physical limitations. So I wouldn't say so.
And mobility, the Achilles was not.
No, I think when you look at it, there was a lot of production. We were 6-3, 9 games in, and had done a lot of good things, and so I don't think there were any real limitations from that standpoint.
To follow up on that, what you said about decision making, did that impact your confidence? Did you feel like you were confident in your decision making process on the field these last few weeks?
Well, the results weren't good enough, but I think that from a confidence standpoint, I don't think that was changing. If anything, maybe you need less confidence to not try to force the ball into tighter windows. So I don't think it's confidence as much as just got to make great decisions. You got to make great decisions all the time, and if you don't, you pay for it.
Were you surprised? Did you think that there would be a change at this point in the season?
I don't think, in my years in the league, I've never really had like expectations or been surprised. I think that the league, anything can happen.
When did that conversation with Ricky happen?
Just yesterday.
Last night?
Yep, evening, yep.
And what was that conversation like?
Yeah, it was just, simple and straightforward, and didn't last long.
He said that you guys don't usually talk on the phone, in that time period. Did you kind of know that call might be coming?
When he called, I was aware that it might be, to talk about what the plan is this week. But again, I don't really go in with expectations ever. In this league, so many things can happen or change that you kind of just try to keep an open mind.
Do you think about what this means for your future with the Falcons?
Yeah, I think, again, you're kind of one day at a time right now, and you kind of always are in this league. And then, in the off season, that's when conversations happen, but we're not there yet.
Anything else?
Have you had a chance to talk to the team at all, or the quarterback room, or anything like that since the change was made?
Well, we've had meetings. Talked to Mike last night and just let him know I'd be in his corner and supporting him and trying to help him any way I can. And, the quarterback room, just, when I'm playing, it's a working force, to help us all, and it's the same now. That doesn't change. So, that sometimes you're just stating the obvious, but still stated it.
You hold yourself to such a high standard, so how are you personally taking this?
It's disappointing. But it's pro football, and there's no entitlement, and so you got to go out and earn it every single day. And I think I've said that really since I got here. You got to go out and earn it every single day, and if you don't, then there's always going to be, you're always going to be competing, and changes can happen.
Did you call Mike last night?
Yeah.
How quickly after you learned did you call Mike?
I don't know. I think I got in the car, drove home, and called him.
What was his reaction? What was the conversation like on his end?
No, yeah, he was great, and just he's ready to get to work and play well.
How do you support him now? And you said that was your plan. How do you go about doing that? It's been a while since you've been in that role.
Well, we're kind of always working together, so the room doesn't change a whole lot as far as asking questions and taking notes and bringing up thoughts if you have any, and so early in the week, so you kind of go through the process now with first and second down, then third down, then red zone, and more stuff. You tie up loose ends Saturday, and so I think all that happens much together, and so that doesn't really change much.
Not to be redundant about this part of it, but why was it important for you to call Mike last night?
I like to shoot elephants in the room, so I just wanted to shoot one.
Kirk, does the last few weeks, does it affect your confidence, your views for your own career in the future? Do you feel like you hope to still be a starter in the future in the NFL?
I didn't forget how to play quarterback. Certainly the turnovers were not what you want, but I didn't forget how to play.
You mentioned the decision-making, like as a veteran who's obviously logged so many snaps and games, do you look at it and are almost kind of like, how did I make that decision? Or do you kind of look at it and say like, oh, I get why it is, it just execution or whatever wasn't working, or how, like what has that part been like to watch yourself on tape and analyze yourself that way?
Each one is different. Each one is different, and there isn't any, pattern that shows up in every one. So, some are too aggressive, some, you understand what happened, and ultimately, though, you just got to play football.
You said a couple of weeks ago, and you're kind of walking through your career, and that there was always moments of get knocked down, you bounce back. I'm curious, as you look at this situation, how you feel it's either the same or different from what you've experienced in the past.
Certainly knocked down, and the story's still being written, and so you just kind of keep going one day at a time, and someday we'll look back and have a little bit better ability to tell the story.